dummy activity, they are represented by dotted arrows. These are the activities which does not consume any resource or they are not consuming any time. So as you are knowing, if you undertake any activity, it will be requiring certain resource, it will be requiring certain time duration. But when you take into account a dummy activity, it is not consuming any time, it is not consuming any resource. So that particular activity is called as dummy activity. Now, for what purpose this dummy activity is necessary? So, in certain cases, let us say if this is my R activity and this activity can be started only when activity P and activity Q they are completed. R is an activity which can be started when only when your activity P and activity Q both are completed. In that case, ideally what should have been there? This Q, it should not have been at this, it should have been connected to this node in ideal sense. Is it correct? Let us don't take into account this S activity. Only focus on R activity, which can be started only when P and Q both activities have finished. So ideally, this Q should have been connected to this node or event. Do you agree with this?
Yes.
Okay. But why it is shown like this? Because there is one more activity, that is activity S, which doesn't have any relationship with P, but it is dependent on activity Q. Unless and until Q is completed, S cannot be started. So that's why I have to show S independently. Q is terminating at this particular event, which is shown at the bottom side. And now this event and this event, they are at different locations. But what we need for R is R should have logical relationship with P and Q. That's unless and until P completed, Q completed, R cannot be started. That's why these two events we have connected by a dotted arrow. This dotted arrow indicates that this is a dummy activity. So this activity is introduced only to satisfy the requirement of your network diagram. Dummy activity is not existence. It is not in existence. It is not existing. Dummy activity is shown on the network diagram only to satisfy the requirement of logic which is required to draw the network diagram. So that's why we show it by dotted arrow or dotted line, and the time or resources which are consumed by dummy activity, they are equal to 0. So now you can see in this particular case, this diagram indicates that R activity, the predecessor activities are P and Q, or R is preceded by P and Q, and S is preceded by only Q. It is not having any relationship with P activity. Have you understood the concept of dummy activity?
Yes.
Is there any doubt?
No.
Everybody has understood what is dummy activity? It is only introduced to show the logical sequence or logical connections between certain events so that the logic of your network diagram should get satisfied. Now, tell me, based upon this information, let us say the case is reversed. R is preceded only by P. R is preceded only by P activity, and S is preceded by P and Q both. Then what will happen? Whether the diagram will remain same or there will be change. If there is change, what will be the change?
Q independent triangle.
Just my statement is, just look at the chat box. R preceded by only P and S preceded by both P and Q. In that case, diagram remains same or will it change? If changes, what will be the change? Whether there is need of dummy activity. If there is need, how to show the dummy activity? Yes, somebody can tell. Yes, anyone? What is your answer? Is there anyone who feels that the diagram will remain same? Speak out or
No.
give your response in the chat box. No, diagram will not remain same. Then what will be
Yes.
change? Pratiksha, what is going to change? What you said is correct. The diagram will not remain same. There will be change. But the change will be only in the dummy activity. The dummy activity now it is from the event which is below or in the lower direction and it is moving upward to the upper event. In second case, yeah, dotted arrow will be in the downward direction. So Saile has given correct answer that the dummy activity will be shown represented in the form of an arrow which is dotted and acting downwards from the top event to the bottom event. Correct? So I hope now that you have understood this. So let us move to the problem. Now before we move to the problem, there are certain rules how to construct the network diagram. So let us, I will take one sample network diagram which is in front of you and just we will discuss. Whenever you are drawing the network diagram, the specific rules which are there, you can just listen to them and remember. Network diagram should start from left and logically it should move towards right. The numbering, it should be in the sequence of the activities. Means if you say any particular arrow, it should start with lower number and it should end at the higher number. You should not have arrow 4 2. You can have arrow 2 4. You can have arrow 2 6. You can have arrow 2 3. But you cannot have 3 2, 5 2, 6 2, etc. So arrow should be always from lower number to the higher number. Okay. So now in this network diagram, we are drawing some circles. Circles are representing what? Activity or event? Circles represent? Yes.
Event.
Node or event. Correct.
Yeah.
So these events will be numbered And when you are numbering the events, you should start from left and finally reach the extreme right end. Numbering should be such that arrow tail should be less number, arrow head should carry the higher number. Now, on each arrow, you can mention the name of your activity, like this is activity A. In bracket 6, that is the number of hours or number of days, the duration it is consuming, that is mentioned. So you can see everywhere activity in bracket its duration, activity in brackets its duration. Sometimes activity is written on the top of arrow and duration is written on the bottom side of your arrow. So conventions may be slightly different, but you can represent the activity name on your arrow, because this is what type of network, AOA or AON. Yesterday we have seen two types of network diagrams. One is AOA and second is AON. So whether this
AON.
is AON or AOA.
AON.
What is the long form?
Activity on node.
But where is the activity in this case, in this diagram? Is it on node or is it on arrow?
Oh. ह्याच्यात arrow है.
So in this case, all the activities are represented by arrows. Means this is activity on arrow, AOA kind of network. So nodes are representing events and arrows are representing activities. Okay. So we will follow the same convention. Whatever problems we are going to see, they all will be of AOA kind of problems. Activities will be always on your arrows. Okay. Now, further in this particular diagram, can you observe certain dummy events, dummy activities? Do you find some dummy activities in this case?
सर पेज दिसत नाही है.
Just a minute. Not visible. Others? Whether the diagram is visible to you? Visible. So those who can see or the diagram is visible, if you have, then try to give answer whether this diagram carries some dummy activities. If yes, which are the dummy activities? Dummy activities are represented by dotted lines. Are there any dotted lines?
Yes.
Which are they?
2 to 4
Yes.
and 5 to 6.
Yes.
D2.
So they have been mentioned as D1 and D2. Dummy activity number 1, dummy activity number 2. D1 and D2. These are the dummy activities. How we can say also these are dummy activities? Because there is no time or duration mentioned for these. Remaining all activities, there is some duration mentioned. So they are consuming certain time. D1 and D2, they are dummy activities. So there is no consumption of time for them. Okay. So dummy activities we should show by dotted lines, and they should be applied only if they are required. Unnecessary, we should not go on like they are not consuming any duration. So simply go on connecting all the events with dummy activities. This should not be the approach. We should not go for connection of 2, 3, 3, 6, 2, 6 by dummy activities because they are not consuming anything. We have to incorporate dummy activity only if it is required. Okay. Another important point is there should be only single event at the start and only single event at the end of your network. So you can see this. If you see this network, there is only single event, that is 1 at the start, and there is only single event, that is 8, which is at the end. You should not have multiple events at the beginning. You should not have multiple events at the end of your network. If that is the case, again you may need to incorporate some dummy activities and try to come to a single event. That is your finishing point. So these are some of the general rules for construction of network diagram. There is one particular name which is called as Fulkerson's rule for numbering. That is, when you are going for numbering, it should be in sequence, and you should go for numbering the events from bottom of or tail of your arrow to the head of your arrow, and it should be from left to right. So that is a general thumb rule which is called as Fulkerson's rule for numbering of the events. Now, more important part from our point of view is this particular problem. I hope you have written this statement. Have you written? I have put this image on our WhatsApp group. So I hope you must have written this statement. Now we have to go for construction of this network diagram. Okay. This network diagram, we have to, this information which is given, we have to convert that into a network diagram. So let us try to understand how we can go for conversion of this into a network diagram. So I will just swap my screen. Just check whether the screen is visible to you. It is a untitled jam. Visible? Now I have started with one event which is shown as circle. You are finding one square also, but that is construction line. Now look at the information given. What is the information? You can refer to the image which is on your WhatsApp group. Activity A, activity B. Time being, forget about the description. Directly go to the last column. Preceded by. Activity A, is there any precedence? Activity B, is there any precedence?
No.
No. Means activity A and activity B both are independent. They don't require any other work to be completed, then only they can start. So they can be started at once independently. Okay? Understood? What is the meaning? There is no precedence means they can be started at any point of time. I'm just putting some multiple events together. Then I will try to arrange them as per requirement. Is it visible to you?
Yes.
Now just you can see, as per the rules of network diagram, we have to start always with single event. So that is event number 1. Then there are two activities A and B, which are independent. There is no precedence. So I will start from this point and mark one arrow. I'm showing by colored pen. Okay. I will mark this as, this is activity, let us say A. This is activity B. Understood? Why these activities are shown like this? Because A and B, they are independent. They are not dependent on other activities. Then you can see, what is activity C? Is it dependent or independent? Activity C?
Dependent.
It is dependent. Dependent on whom? Activity A. Okay. Means we must have arrow from this, and then let us say I have drawn one arrow like this. This is my activity C. Now I am showing by same pen instead of changing every time. Then I have activity D. which is dependent on B. Correct? This is not final diagram. We are just going for understanding how we can go for development of the logic. A and B independent, C dependent on A, D dependent on B. That is the logic which is given. Then let us move to the further. Activity E depends on whom? Activity E depends on A and activity F depends on B. Correct? So can I have like this? This is somewhere E depends on A and this is a rough diagram. So I'm simply showing you because we normally when we draw it like this, a rough diagram. In examination also, please ensure that whenever you are drawing a network diagram, you will not draw it by pen. You will always draw it by pencil. And even you are drawing by pencil, you will not draw dark lines. You will always go for faint lines, so that if you want to rearrange, you want to erase, it should be easy for that. Okay, understood up to this? A and B independent, C depends on A, E depends on A, D depends on B, E also depends on B. That's why this particular event is a burst event, this particular event is also burst event. Understood? Any doubts in this up to this? A, B, C, D. Sorry, this is not E. It should be F. So this is the beauty of using a software. No need to go for rework. Is it fine with everyone? Or any doubts you have? Because this is a very, very basic, fundamental thing. If you have any doubt, you should ask. Is there any doubt in this?
No.
What about others? Everybody has understood? Now let us go for next. Now see the activity G and activity F. G and H. Okay, next activities. Now tell me, activity G depends on whom?
C and D.
C and D. Where are C and D? C is here, D is here. Correct? Are they, if activity G, it depend on C and D, means C and D, they should terminate at single event. Do you feel like this? C and
Yes.
D, they should terminate at single event, then only G can start. But now here it is at different location, here it is at different location. So what I need to do is, what I have drawn, it was slightly wrong. So now I am trying to erase this. Now I will take a pen. I am drawing two arrows. I will say this is my C and this is my activity T. And then I will put this event to this particular location so that C and D, they are getting merged at this particular event. They are terminating at this particular event. From C and D, what activity I have? It is G activity. So again, I am taking pen. I can have G activity. Okay, understood? Why C and D brought together? Because G depends on C and D. So we should club them in single node, single event, and then start with G. Now, if you see the further part, what is H? H depends on what?
G and F.
G and F. Correct? Again, the question is same. G is somewhere else. F is somewhere else. They are not together. Correct? So, again, what I have to do is I should club them. So, I'm just removing this F part. And I will go for drawing one arrow from here. This is my F activity. So G and F, they should be clubbed at one event. Okay. Now moving further. From G and F, what is emerging? It is H. Okay. And this H and I, they are predecessor for J. So let us go one by one. G and F, there should be H. So I am drawing one activity which is H. Let us say this is H. Now the further part. What about I? I is dependent on E. Activity I, it is dependent on E. So where is E? This is the E. So I will add this over here. And from this, I will again go for one activity. And this activity is my activity I. So is it satisfying? I depends on E, no other activity. And then I will put one event at this particular place. Why I have put this I and H together? The reason is in the further part. I and H, they are for activity J. I and H, they will give rise to activity J. And this J activity is predecessor for what? It is predecessor for last activity, which is K. So here I am marking this as K. So this is my final network. Okay. Now, have you understood up to this how we have gone for?
Yes, sir.
Everyone? What about others? I want everyone to respond either unmuting or through chat box so that I will come to know, because this is very basic part. If there are any queries in this, they will remain as it is, and it will be very difficult to go for solving them at the latter part of our discussion. If you have understood this, then we have to go for numbering. So let us, I will select some different pen. As per the network analysis rule, we should start with 1 and then go from left to right. Whenever you are numbering, care should be taken that you should number them properly. So this is 2, top to bottom, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and this is 9. Okay. So numbering, when you are doing, you should start with 1 from the left side and reach up to the last number, whatever you are getting. Whenever you are numbering, you should go for understanding the logic. The tail event should have less number, head event should have higher number. So 1 to 2, 1 to 3, 3 to 5, 3 to 6, 2 to 5, 2 to 4, 4 to 7. This is 6 to 7, 7 to 8, 8 to 9. So in logic, we have gone for 1 to 9 numbers. Is it any necessity of dummy activity in this case? Did you find any requirement of dummy activity in this case?
No.
No. Correct? So without dummy activity, things have been completed. So I hope you have understood this problem, every one of you. If this problem you have understood, then let us go for the second problem which was mentioned. What was that second problem? I think it is with respect to some processes. Yes. How many activities are there in second problem which is given to you on our group? A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Correct? A to G. And some description is there. So time being, it is not important. Plan primary research, prepare mail shot, prepare questionnaire, send and wait for mail shot replies, issue questionnaire, compile and analyze results, and plan selling campaign. What is important is order or logic. So sometimes it will be given as preceding activity, or sometimes they will say that this is order or logic for your particular problem. So this problem is clear for everyone. Should we move for next?
Yes.
Okay. So I will just clear this. Let us take it like this only. Now you can tell me which activity will be first and which is independent. Which activity? A activity. It is independent because what they have given in logic to be completed first, nothing else. Means I can simply have one more event like this. I'm just putting some more events for further use. And now I will connect this two activities, two events. This is activity A, which is independent. What you say about activity B?
It is preceded by A.
Yes. So unless and until A is complete, we cannot start with activity B. Similarly, what about C? It is given that you cannot start with C if A is not complete. What it indicates? A is common for both B and C, means here we should start. This is my activity B and this should be my activity C. Because B and C both are dependent on A. Once A is completed, B and C can parallelly work together because they are not dependent on each other. They are only dependent on activity A. If that is completed, work is over. Okay? Understood this?
Yes.
This is A, B, C. Now see about D activity and check about the E activity. D is what? When B is complete. So D depends on B and E depends on activity C. Correct? So whether I should draw horizontal line or I should bring this D and E together in one node. What is your opinion?
डी अँड ई एका नोड म्हणजे पुढे यायला पाहिजेत कारण एफ ला ते दोघं हे
Yes.
predecessor.
So whenever you are drawing the activities, you should not limit yourself to only one activity at a time. You should also check what is the further logic so that there will be less rework. Otherwise, you can complete the network. There is no problem. What will happen maximum? I will draw one line here. I will draw one line here. Then I will come to know that the next activity is combination of these two. Then I will erase this and I will bring them together. So if you want to minimize your rework, take into account the next activities also. What is the logic behind them? So what should be ideal situation? Activity D depends on B. Activity E depends on C. So we should have these two brought together in this particular format. Okay. And then what is the next logic? Activity F depends on D and E. Start when D and E is completed. So D and E completed means this particular event. I can start with F and the last activity G, what they have said, start when D, E and F, they are completed. So this is about 1. So I will simply join these two and say that this is F and G. Now, is there any necessity that D and E should be also connected to this? There is no requirement. Simply what they have said, G can be started when D, E, F, they are completed. So when I am at this point, F is completed. When F is completed means by default D and E also completed because F cannot be started unless and until D and E have finished their work. So the logic is completed. Now we will go for numbering the activities. 1, 2, 3, top to bottom, 4, left to right, 5, 6 and 7. Okay, understood this?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So just you can have a screenshot of this network with you so that you can complete the network afterwards. So in today's lecture, we have discussed about how to identify the dummy activity or what is dummy activity when it is coming into place, and then from the given data, how to draw the network diagram, which is most important part of your analysis. Okay.